Your contentment. Granting you contentment is part of our design when we seduce you and grant you the golden period. The provision of your contentment at that juncture in our entanglement provides the luscious positive fuel to flow in our direction, and all is well. We truly do delight in seeing you content with the illusion that we have woven for you. It is when you and us move into the stages of devaluation and disengagement that we regard your state of contentment in a wholly different manner. During devaluation, if we witness you appearing content, we are overcome with jealousy. Why should you be allowed to sit there satisfied, happy, and relaxed? Why do you not suffer the repeated unease of the desire to gain fuel when those supplies become low? We look across the room at you, your features composed in an expression of peace. The envy rises, and we despise the fact that you are sat in pleasant repose, seemingly all at ease with the world. We invariably associate that your composed appearance is achieved in order to annoy and frustrate us. You know, don't you? You know that we have this churning fury inside us which shifts and slides. You know that we have the growing hunger for fuel and how this creates a restlessness in us. You know all of this, and yet you sit there reveling in our discomfort. If you cared, you would not be enjoying that book, talking on the phone to a friend, or watching your favorite television program. No, if you loved us properly, then you would be ensuring that this restlessness was banished, and that our sense of power and might was reinstated. Your state of contentment is being bandied about in front of us, teasing and provoking. You are mocking us because you are achieving something that is denied to us at that time. How dare you behave in this manner? How dare you forget about our needs? We regard this as symptomatic of the selfishness we always knew that you possessed, and now you wave it in our faces, suggesting that somehow we are inferior to you. This will not do. Your contentment at this stage amounts to a provocation and is regarded as a criticism of us. You have achieved contentment whilst we experience restlessness, and our paranoia causes us to assume that you know that this is the case. Oh, we know that you will pretend to be unaware of what you are doing, but we know your game. We are not fooled by these protestations of innocence, so when we fling the dinner plate to the floor, shattering the plate and shattering the silence, causing you to jump up in fright, you knew it was coming, really. The plate lies broken, and your contentment in one swift move is similarly smashed. You are not allowed to be content, unless it is by our say-so. We want you on tenterhooks, your nervous eyes looking to us for approval and consent. Exhibit any sign of being relaxed, at ease, or content, and we will take action to destroy that state in an instant. We will pick a fight, create an argument, call you a name, break something, interrupt you with an insult, walk out and slam the door, and so many other actions, all designed to remove you from your contented position. When we see you like that, you remind us of what we cannot achieve at that point in time, and we hate you for it. Accordingly, when it appears that we have erupted, caused a scene, insulted you, whatever it is, out of seemingly nothing, you can now understand that whilst everything in the room appeared to be calm and quiet, It was actually the simple fact that you were sat there appearing content to us that amounted to a criticism of us, that we were wounded by it, that our fury was ignited, and thus we engaged in certain behaviour in order to cause you to react, to provide us with fuel, and thus heal the wound that has been caused by your criticism. Of course, from your perspective, you do not know what you have done, or supposed to have done, and your reaction is all the more potent for your bewilderment and puzzlement. You ask us what is wrong, you chase after us, and this provides us with further fuel, just as we require. But when you face a situation where there is an eruption from your narcissist, which is out of nothing, where nobody has said anything, and indeed nobody appears to have even done anything, you now know that it is your simple contentment that has proven to be the trigger for this reaction on our part. It becomes worse when the relationship has ended. Whether you escaped us or we disengaged from you, there will come a point when we turn our sights on you again in order to extract that wonderful Hoover fuel from you. It may be weeks or months later, but we will have been undertaking observations in order to determine the most effective way of hoovering you. If we see you getting on with your life, radiating happiness and an air of contentment, it infuriates us hugely. How dare you seem happy without us? You are meant to be broken and distraught. That is how the aftermath is meant to be. Admittedly, it usually is, but every so often we may find that one of our victims has seized the power and has advanced his or her position, forging through the emotion and formulating their recovery. It may be the case that we have seen you on one of the few good days, the bad days taking place where the world cannot see, but that does not matter to us. Should we witness you looking well, smiling, having lost weight, or looking fitter, dressing elegantly, meeting friends with laughter and smiles, it wounds us considerably. You appear to have forgotten about us. Yet you are bound to us in our minds. You are bound to us forever. Have you forgotten that this is the case? You are at our beck and call until the day either of us breathes our last. Yet here you are, striding across the street, hair glossy and styled, posture confident and uplifted, and meeting somebody with a kiss and a broad smile. This was not meant to happen. You exude contentment, a confidence that we thought that was shattered and unlikely to be rebuilt for some time. How did this happen? Who has caused this transformation from the sobbing wretch we left, without so much as a goodbye, to the contented person we now look at from the shadows? It may be a one-off. It may be a glimpse of something that is a work in progress. But such considerations do not matter when we see it. We are wounded by this display. You appear to no longer need us. Where is the stooped figure? Where is the haunted individual with dark circled eyes and pallid skin? Where is the comfort eater that we mocked so horribly? Where has the lank-haired, nervous, shuffling person we tormented gone to? This was not meant to happen. Ever. Seeing you so content post-escape or post-disengagement is a massive criticism to us. The lesser or mid-range of our kind will most likely slink away, regarding this show of strength, temporary even though it may be, as evidencing somebody with defenses high and radar warily sensitive. Any Hoover would be doomed to failure, and might even result in further injurious harm. No, lesser or mid-range narcissists will most likely retreat and return to the new prospect that has been acquired and other sources of fuel, and make a mental note that a Hoover at this juncture is unlikely to meet with success. The greater of our kind, we will seethe and glower, dismayed and wounded by this peacock performance. Unseen, we will send baleful glares your way as we formulate a way to pierce this shield of contentment. Schemes will be concocted once again in order to hammer this contentment into nothingness. The greater may, if sufficiently motivated, spring forward, and unless malign actions for the purpose of drawing negative fuel, preferring to adopt such a tactic rather than to seek to draw the target back in. In such instances, it is time to lash out and destroy rather than capture. Our fury is ignited, and our calculating minds will ascertain that this can only be a veneer on your part. It must be far too soon for you to appear content again, no matter how much it appears to be genuine. We want to halt the recovery before it gathers any more momentum, and thus the greater will unleash a savage malign hoover, smearing and hurling insults, dredging up those historic vulnerabilities in order to break the contentment again, just as we did those many months ago during devaluation. The ignited fury drives the greater forward to shatter, break, and destroy, and if successful, then he or she knows that further malign assaults can be rolled out to cripple your recovery. Once your recovery has been derailed, the contentment eradicated, and the veneer of confidence stripped, then the golden period can be dangled again before the quivering victim by way of a benign follow-up hoover. It never does to see you contented. This is why, when we see it during devaluation, you will suffer an adverse reaction. Following the cessation of the formal relationship, it wounds us considerably and will generate a certain response dependent on the type of our kind that you were entangled with. If you maintain contentment, you are delivering a blow against us.